Welcome once again to our encouraging word. Today I am speaking to you from Sodderly Plantation, might be better termed Sodderly Slave Labor Camp. And today we are standing in front of one of the remaining slave quarters here on the property. It's interesting to note that this was occupied by descendants of slaves right up until living memory. So it has a long history here. The reason we're talking about slavery today is because slavery is a part of the heritage of every Christian. Now, we have, as Christians, we have a kind of a physical heritage and a spiritual heritage. My physical heritage includes the fact that my mother is an author, my father was an Air Force pilot, my grandfather was an Army general, my other grandfather was a cowboy and an optometrist. That's part of my family physical heritage. But I also have a spiritual heritage, and it goes back and back and back all the way until before the time of Christ, because before I was a Christian, I was a Jew. And the central experience of the Jewish people was their time of slavery in Egypt. They're reminded over and over again throughout the Old Testament, remember that you were a slave in Egypt. Remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and treat people like you wish you had been treated then. So take care of the alien, take care of the oppressed, take care of the widow, take care of the poor. You've been through that. You remember how it was. So slavery is central to who we are as a people because it reminds us of our experience and gives us compassion for the experience of others. Now, I'm talking about slavery today also because it's part of my challenge. Remember, last week I gave myself the challenge of selecting one verse from each book of the Bible. We're just getting started. Last week we did Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Great start. And today I have the challenge of selecting one verse out of the great big book of Exodus. And I've selected actually a verse and a half from the conversation between God and Moses at the burning bush. Moses is out there tending sheep in the desert, and he sees this burning bush that is burned but never consumed. And he's curious, and he goes over to the bush, and God says to him, take off your sandals, you're on holy ground, and I've got stuff to say to you. And so he says something that's wonderful, and it tells us so much about the character of our God. So let me read to you Exodus 3, 7, and 8. And the Lord said to Moses, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, who are in Egypt, and have given heed to their cry because of their taskmasters. For I am aware of their sufferings. So I have come down to deliver them from the power of the Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a good and spacious land, to a land flowing with milk and honey. I am aware of their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them. That is the character of our God. God isn't ignorant of our sufferings. He cares about our sufferings, and not only does he cares enough to come down and do something about it. That is the good news about the character of our God that has not changed from the day he said that. Now, the other part of that for us is the fact that we should follow after God's example. So we should be aware of the sufferings of others. So are people poor? Are people sick? Are people lonely? Are people hurting? Are they depressed? Whatever their suffering is, we should be aware of it. And we should come down and do something about it through the power of Christ Jesus. That is our message for today. So once again, we have heard our encouraging word. Thanks be to God.